Alrighty, so can you hear me now? Let's get a thumbs up because I've been having a lot of trouble with my connectors. And if you can hear me there, I'm going to keep doing a test. There we go. And is it good enough quality that I can leave it, or should I try and put the microphone back in? Let me just try something. I want to try this other connector. All right. Cynthia is my team member there helping. So you can still hear me. That's a thumbs up. I've got a good connector here. Give me another indicator there, Cynthia, if you would. I see one yes. I want to make sure it was on this new mic. All right, perfect. So isn't that interesting? So I've got these little connectors to go into my iPhone, right, with my microphone that, of course, has a round peg and it's a flat hole. Forget about round pegs and square holes these days. They're flash drive holes, right? And this is the good one. And for some reason, it keeps not working. And yet the old one that's got a bend in the wiring seems to work. Like, that's crazy. Just, all right, we'll go with it. So let me go back then, because I welcome you guys and nobody could hear. So hello. I'm here on a Saturday, crazy as that is. Has to do with everything that's unfolded this week. I thought I would come on yesterday to announce the new Quantum Flight program and share some of the energies that have been going on. Tried multiple times earlier in the week and it just never aligned, and too many things got going on. So I thought, okay, it's going to be when it is. And then because I wanted to announce the program, they showed me it didn't work yesterday because you actually need, you open the program first, open the sphere. And I was told to open the sphere as I tuned into it. I think it was early Thursday or Wednesday. To do that on Saturday. I thought, okay, well then Saturday it is, 7/22. It's an 11 day, and a 7 with a year. So we got 18, making it a completion day, a number 9. And that is very interesting because that is the energy of this new group sphere I've discovered. So as I was sharing, thank you so much, Cynthia, for letting me know that you couldn't hear me, because I've got several of you coming on now, and I know more will join hopefully on a Saturday. But when I go in, my original Dragonheart program always started with me and Metatron, the Crystal Dragon, and Galadrius. And Galadrius is this massive multiverse dragon, huge transparent being, holds a really high frequency. That was the foundation stone of holding these different octaves together in a triangulation. Today's Magdalene Feast Day. Amazing. Had no idea. So that's incredible timing and alignment. And it feels good. The 22nd feels really good for some reason. And it's between, we've got this space right now between the July 7th, which was preceded by the solstice. And now we've got 8/8 coming up, and they're all conjoined, right? There's energy flowing continuously, amping it up for us. Anyway, so in the last program was the first time that when I switched to Quantum Flight, I've run it twice. And the configuration was the same for the first one with those 3 triangulating. And then the second one shifted into Galadrius coming in when I went to set the sphere. And he said, you don't need me now. And it was time to move into the bridging, the shifting point, and the Lyrans. So Asagaya and Zyra, who are 2 white lions who are embodied physically on the planet and been working with me energetically here and there since a year ago, July 1st, that all of a sudden I was across from Metatron. I thought, okay, you and me, and then they appeared. And it showed me the movement into the configuration of 4, which is where we're headed with the Lyrans taking over the grid holding that the dragons have done all through 3D. And as we move into the new Earth in the 5D quantum field, that the Lyrans, so the golden winged lions, the white lions, the felines, all the dragons and other breeds that are in the Lyran system, predominantly feline, they've agreed to take over and hold that space in the 5th dimensional grids. And so the dragons are able to retire. They're able to release their batons, pass them off. And there's a lot of that starting to play out right now. On the upper grids, it started happening about 2 years ago that I was getting information and seeing that the teams were coming together to facilitate the handoff. So Lyran was coming in who would be in a dragon's position, and they would work together for a while. And then some were able to actually hand off readily. And that's now starting to come down to our grid, our layer, physical layer, physicality layer. And why is that important? Because one of the things I wanted to discuss today, and I'll probably circle back around to it, is what's going on in our physical layer in our bodies. Because this handoff, this transition, this movement into the 5D, so many things are lining up right now for it's go time. And so I find it interesting, as I was told to set the sphere for the new quantum flight group. It may be most likely my last one I'm going to run. So those of you that have been feeling called to it, it's your time. It's the completion group. They are here for the completion team. And what I found very interesting was when I went to set the sphere this morning, and it was like right around 4:30 when I was awake. I was like, okay, I'm supposed to do the sphere now. So I know it was across the 444 bandwidth. And hello, Sophia Rose. Thank you for that. Feeling that love sent my way. So when I went in, Metatron was not there. I felt Asagaya and Zyra. And Metatron basically handed off, and my own Dragon of Mu, Water Dragon male counterpart, slid into that position opposite me. Why is that significant? Because we are at the merge point, so down on this level, Earth plane level, in the sphere for this final quantum flight program, and each of my teams every year has been a different focus of what their position and work is in the greater schematics of the universe, or of this grid shift for the ascension. And with that being the completion point, I find it fascinating to see that, all right, Asagaya and Zyra, they are like that twin flame counterpart. They are perfectly balanced to be in a state of union and hold their positions. And Metatron was holding that until the readiness to be at the level. And he was, so that's interesting because I've had awareness come in that my higher state is, I'm in Water Dragon form as the Dragon of Mu in the tectonic plates, but in that higher framework of vibration, up through crystal and into diamond, my true form is actually diamond. And so he's showing me that between the diamond aspect and my here human aspect, he's been holding the template in between for that to bridge. And now as we come into the completion zone, I actually have been able to draw in my counterpart that is Earth grid. Why? Because the two Dragons of Mu balancing each other in the sphere with the two Lyrans. That is the full, full chills, Jennifer. That is the full handoff, send-off readiness for that completion. And so this group coming together is going to be very, very powerful. And the beautiful thing about this group's forming, because of those, we had the first one has anchored, the foundation member has anchored. She joined in yesterday. And actually, it was Thursday. No, yes, it was yesterday. Time just doesn't exist. That's why Saturday, but it doesn't matter. Come on Saturday. So that foundation member is in, and this group coming together, as I see even the short list that I sent out to, the vibrational caliber of energy, and this team is phenomenal. Like, everyone has been off the charts, but this to me is like, wow, there's just this readiness for some really big pieces, and they're facilitating a cross through between the 8-8 and the solstice this winter. So one of the very interesting pieces, there's always a thematic, a keyword that comes in. So the word came in, that's completion team, I should say. And for the first time, there was a specific, not a specific color or energy pattern, but a specific visual that was given to me that is in the base of the sphere. And this is what gets me super, super excited. And Jennifer, your chills are going to go up because I know you're on that list that received it. There was a diamond-shaped rose, not rose-colored, diamond crystal clear, but made of diamond in a rose pattern, like a rose flower, in the bottom of the sphere of the group that's forming. And so even those that are listening to this, whether now I see quite a few or on the replay, this is significant whether you are in the quantum flight program or not, because when they touch into my sphere and my sphere touches into the whole dragon family, there's pieces that start happening and activating for everyone. So yeah, Cynthia's in my ongoing quantum flight group, and so she knows the energy of that sphere and what's been coming through. And So this diamond in the shape of a rose in specific faceted sections that literally laid out just like a rose. Very interesting to me because there's a rose gold energy that has been coming in that is very high vibration, more Arcturian and above. Wow, that rose gold I feel associated with Magdalene, so this being Magdalene feast day, interesting. There's that rose, but the rose pattern is associated with the Marys, particularly Magdalene, I believe. I'm not positive on that because that's not my field, but I feel like that connects. So with that being the foundation stone, it's also showing that the diamond pattern and my own diamond pattern is ready to come into that to activate everything to a higher level. So I'm super excited about this new group. It's going to kick off September 26th. So between now and then, I'm taking applications and doing the interview calls for that next level of that formation of that group. And it's going to be super amazing, and it will complete on November 21st. And I'm realizing now that I always just like calendar it and then I'm shown alignments later. And that's exactly the full moons or a moon cycle. So I'll have to see when the full and new moons fall in that, but exactly before the 21st of December or the 22nd, whenever the winter solstice is going to be. That's another alignment. So going to be a powerhouse group. If you are feeling a heart pull, and why do I put that sphere together? What happens, and so it went out this morning, is when the team comes together, it's like Asagara and Zara and my male water dragon counterpart and myself, and we sit in and that heart pulse coming from that diamond rose gets sent out. And so that diamond vibration pattern is going out like a pulse to hit the heart shape of Cool and Catching Live. You'd love to be a part of that next quantum flight. And I'm trying to see. Yes, Cecile, you should have gotten the email. If you didn't, let me know. I sent you an email last, I think it was Wednesday, when I sent them out, and you were on that short list. So get that application in so that we can do the next step. So when that pulse goes out, what it does is it hits all of those that are already in the sphere energetically, that have been doing the work and aligning it, because our energy bodies are always ahead of our physical bodies. So that alignment has already pulled together, and by the time that I get notified, like, psh, all right, calendar it, it means the group has synthesized, that it's cohesed together, and then we're ready, psh, and it falls into alignment with the timing of pieces here. So this coming together, that heart pulse going out, those that they feel it and they find me randomly now from here out, like there's going to be sync up links where they're like, wow, I don't know why I was supposed to watch that. How did I find you? I've never heard of you before. And yeah, I'm supposed to be in that. Things like that align. And then others who've been even had an application in through past spheres, but it wasn't their sphere. They knew it's like, no, it's not my time. So they're waiting, and it'll be their time now. So I get super excited about that because it's such a powerful time of transition and activation for everyone that's in it, but also connected into my larger dragon family, because it takes things up a notch. So energy that's been going on this week, in addition to that, I want you to be paying attention to what's going on in your bodies. So as I said, here's my counterpart coming in. It absolutely confirmed for me what was happening a week ago with my body. Everything is starting to trickle in the physical. So feeling odd physical sensations, some attribute ascension symptoms, hard time sleeping, weird body pains or things. But what I've really particularly noticed is this lightness of being state. Feeling in a lightness of being where if I'm laying in bed at night, particularly when I stop external activity, but it's happening during the day too now, where I can tune in and my body is not dense or heavy. And granted, I'm 5'9", I weigh 155-ish, and I'm a dense being. I'm big bone, big muscled, and like, yeah, I feel typically very dense or heavy in a 3D body. And there's a difference that's very tangible and noticeable, that is a lightness of being that's starting to percolate through, where a lot of the times I can feel and know that I have skin, I have this form around me, but it's so light that I almost can't feel it. And yet I know I'm here, I'm walking around, I'm functioning, and everything's good. but it's tangibly happening, and that's where we're at the center point. We're so close to that 0 point gate, and everything from July 7th that is prepping us for the 8-8, what's happening there, the whole new Earth portal grid is dissolving. That means it's fully open, and what's happening there is AndaRa, Marlene from Cape Town in South Africa, who has been in my program, she was in the first Quantum Flight program, has now found her entire purpose and aligned into that she knows she's responsible for these large grids, that is the new Earth grid, and aligning Gaia's chakras into that fifth dimensional energy framework and the release of the batons between the dragons and the Lyrans. She's on that team of, this has got to come together. And so what's beautiful is she's invited me to be part of that team, knowing that my work will be shifting, moving forward into the activations. And there's multiple happenings like this going on. And this is super exciting to share, because I've got my piece coming online, and I need to actually, around the globe, physically in person, activate multiple grid points, most particularly the 12 hearts of the Dragons of Mu. Only one of those has been done. It was done at the Montreal workshop in May of 2019. All the other stuff got put on hold come 2020 when travel was restricted. And I was shown, all right, we need to do some things remotely, but there's still pieces that now it's going to come online, like to actually be there in the physical. So all of those heart chakras, those are my 12. There are alignments of crossovers within those with the project that Marlene is doing with the 5D New Earth Grid. So pay attention to that when she posts it into this group. It's going to be a powerful thing that is starting to mirror, because everything is mirroring between our own bodies and Gaia's. And as I see something flip for us, we're able to do it for Gaia. And as that flips for her, it takes us to the next level. And so that release of her movement into her chakras is going to be doing the same for our body. And so my piece is to facilitate the light language for that transfer, for that activation, both for Gaia and the chakra, and then for those that are participating and energetically connecting into it. And so that will be the mirror on the micro scale into our own bodies to align us into that. That was Marlene's intention, is to start aligning humanity into those grids. And that's where that dissolution of that portal, or that veil between the realms, has been there. Now it can be dissolved. Working with the heart of the female air dragon. Let me see. Sophie, I'm in Montreal, and I still yet have to go to the Mont Royal to work with the heart of the female air dragon. It's, sorry, I'm trying to see the Seymour. Oh my goodness, absolutely. Before COVID, I was to go there. So that's interesting, and I don't know, Sophie, if you were part of that May 2019 workshop, but it was actually Mont Royal, and there were 5 actually. It was a full pentagon around her in the 5 spots. They were perfectly equidistant, about, I want to say 70 miles or 70 kilometers in a perfect pentagon around her. Really fascinating. And so those will be happening over the next years. And this is where it's all getting real. Everything is now coming into the body. So paying attention, what's going on in your body and what are you feeling, and don't discount it, and allow yourself to stay in that space to actually integrate it mentally, because the physical and mental bodies are the lowest, slowest vibrationally for us. And they are the ones that have been the last to start transitioning. The fact that we now have transition point happening in our bodies is beyond exciting. That's what we've been waiting for. That's the final piece. That's why we're at completion. That's why this group is going to be the completion team, and probably my last Dragonheart or Quantum Flight group sphere, the program, and everything's going to shift. So, wow. In fact, I realized, like, when I felt called to what I was wearing out of the closet, and I went and I was like, oh my goodness, I feel like I'm dressed up like I could go to the theater right now. I've got these beautiful stuff on, I'm enjoying, and I feel really like, whoa. And I said, well, actually, it's a celebration. I am dressed up. I am like, this is big. This is what to get ready for. This is what we dress up for, the big stuff in life, right? Oh, it's Linda. Yes, Sophia Rose. Yeah, okay, wonderful. Yes, nice to see you, Linda. Sophia. So I love that, because Linda, your energy there with the Sophia Rose and Magdalene Day and the Diamond Rose energy. I feel like there's just a connection there. You might really feel into if it's time for you to be in the Quantum Flight program, if that's calling you at all. So I'm going to end it there and just know you guys get your applications in. I'm not going to come on probably unless I'm going to spend some time in nature again next week. I have an opportunity to be in the backcountry and use somebody when in this record water flow. Super excited to take my boys and see the valley with crashing waterfalls after so many years of drought and dry and like trickles. And I feel like if I do a live, it'll be because I have a signal and I'm in presence with some dragons there in the backcountry that are, I feel like they're calling to me and that I will have something to share. But definitely when I come on, when I get back, I'll be sharing whatever if I don't have a signal to do something there. But I'm hoping that I can get high enough that I have a satellite signal to be able to actually share live next week at some point. So I'm going to have to go back and read all of these comments there. Cynthia's body's buzzing. So excited. Yeah. And Cynthia was part of the last Quantum Flight. And I'll be honest, Cynthia, I'm like, I think you've been in since the first one, in the ongoing group, and Powerhouse, one of my members. So definitely, reach out to her if you want to know about the program, or, I feel like some of the other Quantum Flight, ongoing members will step in and post and share their comments once I actually put a post in about the program, physically, not just the live. And maybe I'll do that later today so that they can share, so that you guys have direct feedback from those members, or even some of my Dragon Hearts, because they're all still part of this group. It's a family that doesn't quit, and even if they don't continue in the ongoing, they're always touching in. They're always part of the sphere and feeling that work moving forward. Yeah, big love to Mary Magdalene. She's such a powerful energy, and one that I definitely got to work with earlier in my journey, in activating my own womb space and moving into my own power center in a beautiful way. So beautiful. I look forward to connecting either mid or post Yosemite backcountry with all the energetic, incredible off-grid stuff there, because you really are off-grid there. When you get out beyond the main hiking trails and crowds, it's what I shared last year after being on the first section of the John Muir Trail. That will be in September. I'm doing section 2, so that will be more to share, but that space of that was the first time that I really connected and felt in my physical awareness consciously multiple incarnational aspects of myself having a similar experience, looking out on vast landscapes in where they are, and it was that first drawing into myself, like, all right, as I merge with my light body, I'm going to have those full conscious networking, like my full IT, if you use computer analogies, are the best. Really, it's crazy why. But when my whole IT system is working purely organic, right? There's no AI involved there. It's sync up. It's awareness and knowing of all parts of ourselves. That's the beauty of the ascension process and merging with our full light body. And that's the intention of the program. For those that are ready to step into, I call it stepping into who you be, because who you be is your full soul level self, and bringing that in. And I do that for the dragons. The dragon riders, the dragon hearts, the dragon keepers, the dragon shepherds. They find me, and it's super fun. So I will look forward to connecting with those that reach out with that, and connecting in next week to share what's come through from the wilderness. All right. Big love to everybody. And yeah, go back and hang with it, because I think the first minute might be me talking with no sound. So hang in there, everybody. I'll have to post that in the description so people know, like, hang in there. There is sound coming. Right. Bye for now. Talk to you soon, Dragon family. Big dragon hugs.